Barakatah Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders in Great Millstone who rule well and teach well with sincerity, honesty, and integrity. Brothers laboring in this truth, putting their life on the line, especially in these times. Salutations to you, brothers, and you brothers and sisters who believe in this truth wholeheartedly and sincerely. Shalom to the hopeful elect. Right here in the APnews.com, it says Trump selects for 175 billion Golden Dome missile defense system. So I'll read up a little bit on this. It says, on Washington AP, President Donald Trump has announced the concept he wants for his future Golden Dome missile defense program, a multi-layered 175 billion system that for the first time will put U.S. weapons in space. Speaking Tuesday from the Oval Office, Trump said he expects the system will be fully operational before the end of my term, which ends in 2029, and have the capability of intercepting missiles even if they are launched from space. All right. And then you also got it's likelier. So like, peep what's going on. You can't. Some fishy, some funny movements. Hold on, let me just check what's going on. Always gotta check what's going on. You know how these YNs be. Alright. Alright, Slakia, brothers. It reads, speaking Tuesday from the Oval Office, Trump said he expects the system will be fully operational before the end of my term, which ends in 2029, and have the capability of intercepting missiles, even if they are launched from space. And it reads, it's likely, that the complex system may have initial capability by that point. A U.S. official familiar with the program said. Trump seated next to posters showing the continental U.S. painted gold with artistic depictions of missile interceptions, also announced that General Michael Gouet-Lyon, who currently serves as the vice president, of chief. Yep. Chief. Yep. Who currently holds the who currently serves as the vice chief of space operations, will be responsible for overseeing Golden Dome's progress. Golden Dome is envisioned to include ground and space-based capabilities that are able to detect and stop missiles at all four major stages of a potential attack, detecting and destroying them before a launch, intercepting them in their earliest stage of flight, stopping them mid-course in the air, or halting them in the final minutes as they descend toward a target. For the last several months, Pentagon planners have been developing options which the U.S. official describes as medium, high, and extra high choices based on their costs that include space-based interceptors. The official spoke on condition of anonymity to detail plans that have not been made public. The difference in the three versions is largely based on how many satellites and sensors, and for the first time, space-based interceptors will be purchased. The Congressional Budget Office estimated this month that the space-based components of the Golden Dome could cost as much as $542 billion over the next 20 years. Trump has requested an initial $25 billion for the program in his proposed tax break bill, now moving through Congress. The Pentagon has warned for years that the newest missiles developed by China and Russia are so advanced that updated countermeasures are necessary. Golden Dome's added satellites and interceptors, where the bulk of the program's cost is, would be focused on stopping those advanced missiles early on or in the middle of their flight. The space-based missiles envisioned for Golden Domes represent new and emerging requirements for missions that have never before been accomplished by military space organizations. General Chance Saltzman, head of the U.S. Space Force, told lawmakers at a hearing today. China and Russia have put offensive weapons in space, such as satellites with abilities to disable critical U.S. satellites, which can make the U.S. vulnerable to attack. Last year, the U.S. said Russia was developing a space-based nuclear weapon that could load in space for long durations, then release a burst that would take out satellites around it. Trump said Tuesday that he had not yet spoken to Russian President Vladimir Putin about the Golden Dome program, but as right now, we will, he told reporters at the White House. All right, we might as well finish this up. In a joint statement earlier this month, China and Russia called the Golden Dome idea deeply destabilizing in nature, warning it would turn outer space into an environment for placing weapons and an arena for armed confrontation. There is no money for the project yet, and Golden Dome overall is still in a conceptual stage. All right, and it reads, newly confirmed Air Force Secretary Troy Mink told senators during a hearing Tuesday. While the president picked the concept he wanted, the Pentagon is still developing the requirements that the Golden Dome would need to meet, which is not the way the new systems are normally developed. The Pentagon and the U.S. Northern Command are still drafting what is known as an initial capabilities document. The U.S. official said that is how Northern Command, which is responsible for Homeland Defense, identifies what it will need the system to do. The U.S. already has many missile defense capabilities, such as the Patriot missile batteries that the U.S. provided to Ukraine to defend against incoming missiles, as well as an array of satellites in orbit to detect missile launches. From some of those existing systems will be incorporated into Golden Dome. Trump directed the Pentagon to pursue the space-based interceptors in an executive order during the first week of his presidency. All right, so we read that to read this. First, we're gonna bring out this scripture right here, man. We'll bring this out first. Psalms 49 and 11. It reads, "Their inward thought is that their houses should continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names." All right, see, because Esau, Edom is not going to escape their judgment. The Lord is not going to acquit the wicked. Those thermonuclear missiles is going to have the spirit of the Lord in them, and there's no defense system that's going to stop the judgment of Esau, Edom here in Babylon. All right, this place is going to be wiped off the face of the map. Thus saith the Lord. All right, and we know this. So yes, they can create all these golden domes. It's not going to protect. It's not going to protect them when those missiles shoot here, because what does the scripture say? Right? What does the scripture say? And I read that. We're gonna get a few scriptures, and then we're gonna close. 2 Ezra 16 and verse. Let's just start straight to the point. 2 Ezra 16 and verse 13. It says, "For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp and shall not miss." You see, and shall not miss. And those arrows is talking about those thermonuclear missiles, those ICBM missiles, those intercontinental ballistic missiles, man. You see, for strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp, and shall not miss when they begin to be shot unto the ends of the world. You see, behold, the plagues are sent, and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. The fire is kindled, and should not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth. Like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer returneth not backward, even so the plagues that shall be sent upon earth shall not return again. You see? So those arrows is gonna hit their mark, man. They're gonna hit their mark. All right. You go and let me look over there as well. Joel 2:7, it reads, they shall run like mighty men, they shall climb the wall like men of war, and they shall march every one of his ways, and they shall not break their ranks. And this is talking about those thermonuclear missiles, man. Those thermonuclear missiles is going to reach their target, man. You see? It's going to reach their target. All right? And the Lord is going to be in the spirit of those targets, in the spirit of those missiles, man. All right? You see? This place, that's the future judgment of this place, man. That's the future judgment of this place. Malachi 4:1, it reads, first, behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble. And the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord of hosts. That it shall leave them neither root nor branch. All right, the Lord of hosts, the Lord of armies. All right, the Lord is a man of war. All right, and it's going to happen. This man think he's gonna escape his judgment. The inward thought is that his houses will dwell forever. However, he's going to meet his judgment, man. All right, and there's no golden dome that's gonna protect his destruction. Babylon is going to be destroyed. All right, Babylon will be destroyed, brothers. All right, and you sincere sisters, right? All right, let's start at verse 4. Revelation 18:4 reads, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not her plagues. Just like those plagues we were talking about in the second Esdras. That's going to be the ultimate plagues. It's going to be those thermonuclear missiles. All right, and it reads, for her sins have reached unto heaven. All right, and that her is talking about the daughter of Babylon, which is here in America. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and Yahweh Bashim Yahushua have remembered her iniquities. Reward her, even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works. And the cup which she have filled to her double, right? It's ironic, that golden cup, right? But he's trying to build a golden dome, right? How much she have glorified herself and lived deliciously. So much torment and sorrow give her. You see, and this is the destruction. The American living deliciously, man. Off the backs of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. The Israelites, Jake. All right, for she saith in her heart, I sit a queen, and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. And that's America building that golden dome, thinking they're not going to receive their judgment. She thinks she's going to be. Matter of fact, we go from there. We'll go from there, and this is not scripted. You know what? Let me see if I can. Let's get that up. We'll go from there and go to Isaiah. Isaiah 47. I'm not mistaken, it's verse 7. It reads, Isaiah 47:7. It reads, and thou sayest, I shall be a lady forever. And that's the mindset of the kings and princes of Babylon. All right, the rulers. They think they're gonna be a lady forever. They're gonna think they're gonna be in power forever. They think there's no one that's gonna touch them. All right, and thou sayest, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it. You see? Therefore, hear now this, that thou art grieving to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly, that sayest in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. You see? So going back to Revelation is echoing the same thing. It reads, Revelation 18:7, it reads, how much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she said in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Lord who judgeth her. Right? When strong is the right hand, who's going to be in the spirit of those missiles? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, man. All right? And the kings, of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning. All right, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, alas, alas, that great city Babylon, America, right? That mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. So that golden dome is not going to stop anything, man. You see? And the Lord, Lord might have it where that happens before that even he can even finish his plans, man. You see? What's the scripture says? And they will not fulfill their enterprise. You see? They will not fulfill their enterprise. So we gonna sit back and see what happens, but we do know the latter end of it. See, we know the latter end of Esau Edom. We know the latter end of Babylon here in America. You see, we know, and she will be touched. She said as a virgin, but no, she's going to be touched. She's going to be penetrated with those thermonuclear missiles. All right. So with that, pray this lesson was edifying. Shalom to the hopeful elect.